Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from HobbyBoss, and it is made in 1/35 scale. So we get here the tank model. It's a Soviet T-54 medium tank, and it might be an interesting build for all armor modelers out there. And what I have here on the table, that's the final shape of this release, so you should be able to get it right from the moment when you are watching this review. The kit number is 84538, and as you can notice, it comes in this rather large box. So here is comparison with my hand. We also have quite nice box art here, and on the side you'll find the 3D images of the assembled model. You can also see that there is some P parts will be involved, and of course we have some short history note here. And then on the other page, or on the other side, you can see the 3 marking options which are included here. We also have the P parts, as I said, and the decals map here. So this is a top opening box. Just give me a second because it's a bit of a tight fitment. And here's what we have inside. The top lid is quite sturdy, by the way, so it should protect all of the parts. And inside, as you can notice, we have the small ad for the Avenger aircraft. There will be the video review with it, so stay tuned, and maybe it will be published when this review will be out. Here we have the ad for the kit itself and also for the F-18, which will not be reviewed on my YouTube channel, unfortunately. But what we have here is quite a smart packaging, because as you can see, we have the separate compartment for the hull parts, and all of the parts, they are packed into the sealed plastic bags, so it will take a bit of time to open each one of them, because I will have to cut through them. In the meantime, I can remind you that I reviewed some other kits from HobbyBoss and also some other manufacturer versions of the T-54. In case you are interested, you can find it easily on the YouTube channel which you are watching right now. But here we start with the storage boxes for this tank. So as you can see, they are coming on this quite a strange shaped sprue, and as you can see, they are also molded as a single piece parts, so I guess it's worth zooming in and showing them one by one. Here is the first one, here is the second one, and here is the third one, and here we have the fourth one. So overall, this is rather simple design, but I think for some modelers it will be even more interesting, because this way you don't have to waste your time trying to align the separate things together. You get the right shape out of the box, so you just install them where they should be installed, and that's all. So basically they're ready to be used straight out of the box, and they don't require some additional actions just like in some other kits. But that's also, let's say, blocking you from assembling the version with the open storage boxes. So for some cases it might be very useful, so that's why it is, I would say, rather fair exchange in case you don't need such features. Next, we continue with the sprue, which is wrapped into the foam, and it is wrapped in the foam because we get here the thin parts. So just like in any other HobbyBoss release, here we get the foam which is protecting the thin parts from the breakage, and it was protecting these 2 small frames and also some fuel pipings. And also here we have the side shelves which are molded as a single piece part with the front mud guards. I'm mentioning this because this is rather unusual design for this kit, in my opinion. Here we have also the lower section of the turret. Note that the log is separated into 2 parts, which is again quite strange. We have the separate hatches for the turret. Here we have also the engine compartment. And just to give you an idea of the details on this engine compartment cover, here you can take a closer look. So to me it looks fine, more or less, but well, I would say you can get some additional features here. Just check some reference materials or reference photos, and you will be able to copy a bit more than what is supplied here. Another sprue is also wrapped into the foam. I will show it so that you can understand what I mean. And well, this packaging is actually good because it gives you more chances to get the parts in the proper shape, but sometimes it's a bit tricky to unpack it because they seal it tight, and then you have to carefully cut through with a sharp knife, because otherwise you might end up by damaging the parts yourself. And this sprue was packed like this because here, as you can see, we have a lot of thin parts, so be careful with it. And overall, I can see here that we have some of the external elements. We do not get the interior here, but we get at least the machine gun there, which will be installed on the turret, so I guess it's worth zooming in and showing it closer. Overall it looks fine, but I know some modders would rather replace the barrel with a metal accessory. This will cost extra money, so it's already your decision. And the same can be said about something what is coming on the next sprue, so just give me a second. Here it is. Here we have the main barrel, and as you can see, it is molded as a single piece part. So this is great for out of the box version, but again, if you would like to have more features, you can go for the metal upgrade, which will cost you extra money, but on 1/35 scale, I think it's already something worth thinking about. And next we continue with the drivetrain parts. So there are two identical plastic sprues. I will show you only one because here we get the road wheels, and of course the road wheels are molded together with the rubber bandages. So here you get, I would say, somewhat classic parts division. External features do not look generous, so if I zoom in, you can notice that we don't have, for example, manufacturer logo, just like on some other kits. And well, overall it should be okay for out of the box build. In case you are searching for more features, then definitely go to the different brand, for example Mignard. Here you can also see the drive sprocket and also some of the suspension parts. So all of this looks quite good. And again, I think for some modders it will be more than enough. Some modders who want more, then they can go for a different brand or just buy the upgrade sets from that brand. I think Mignard offers the drivetrain separately, so you can upgrade your kit without having to search for the full Mignard set. This is also an option in my opinion, and it will work. It should work nicely with this kit as well. I've opened the track parts, so we have the separate track links, and as you can see, there will be plenty of work to do. I do not see any assembly template or assembly station for these tracks, so you will have to align the separate track links one by one with each other. But overall I think it should be worth it, because in 1/35 scale such things are usually quite noticeable, and they are also easier to paint and weather. By the way, here you can check them from the opposite side. And next we have this plastic sprue. This one is supplied in two pieces. So here we have the fuel tanks and also the storage boxes. We also have some minor elements for the turret and also here for the towing cable. So as far as I can guess, the towing cable is not supplied here unless it's coming in the separate compartment. But with the fuel tank or with these containers, if I zoom in, you can see that here we have the handles pre-molded, so be careful while painting them not to lose these features. Maybe it's also worth replicating them with the help of metal wire if you have such thickness available. Next, I'm starting with the hull parts. And here we have, for example, lower hull section, and note that it is molded as a single piece part, which is really great. You get the right alignment out of the box, and you also get the separate rear armor wall. So overall it looks fine, and as you remember, we do not get the interior here, so it's quite okay. Next we have also the turret. This one is also one piece element, so I'm opening it right now. And I will show in a second what we have here. So the turret top cover, as you can see, is also a single piece element. We have the separate hatches as we saw before, and external features look okay. So it flew around, but you can get the idea. And next we continue with the top hull section, which is molded together with the glacis plate. So just give me a moment. Here it is. So this one should be combined together with the lower hull section, and we can even try to do the dry fitment. I guess it should work because we do not get any attachment points. Okay, so it requires a bit of clicks. We also have here unremoved tabs, but overall, as you can see, the fitment is really good. Here I don't have any complaints, and we even have the driver hatch separate, so it should be also handy for some build ideas. Next, we also have the mantlet cover, which is made out of rubber. And here it is. I would say it's quite okay in terms of the features. It looks more or less fine, and you just need to remove this seam in the middle, because actually I think on the real thing you get this seam in the middle, so just check your references in order to be sure what should be present there and what is the part of the rubber manufacturing process and requires a careful removal in order to get a proper result. Next we continue with the clear frame. So this one is molded in a quite nice quality. Masks are not supplied here, of course, but overall molding looks great, and you just need to carefully mask it and you'll be alright. Next, we also get the P thread together with a metal wire. So I will just take them out. Okay, so what do we have here is the small P thread, unpainted one, of course. And these are very tiny parts, so maybe get some tweezers, and this way you will be faster in installation. Here we also have the metal wire for the towing cable. And the next one is the unpainted P thread, which is larger one. Here we get the meshes for the engine compartment and various minor elements. Again, very useful thing, and take your time, install it. Do not leave it aside, because I think model will benefit greatly from installing all of this stuff onto the plastic. And next, I'm opening the plastic bag with the decals. So here I also need some time, because again decals are taped with the backing paper. So that's why I just need to cut through it. And there are not that many symbols, because as you remember we have only 2 marking options, but the printing quality looks great, and I hope the application will not be difficult either. And we also get the marking guide, which is printed in color, and actually we get 3 marking options from what I can see on this poster. So I'll just close the lenses a bit, zoom out, and now you can see what I'm talking about here. So obviously this is the green camouflage, so there is nothing special here. We have the tank with the white marking, so this one might be worth replicating, but this is pretty much all of the options you get, unless you have some good reference material and you would like to replicate it on your tank. Next we continue with the assembly manual. So this one is black and white, and maybe I'll zoom out. On the first page we have some safety advices, and next we can see the parts map. Here assembly process starts with a lower hull section, and also we install the hatch onto the top section, but here it's shown as the closed, but of course if you have the driver figurine it might be worth opening it. Next are the road wheels, drive sprocket and the tracks. So each side should be assembled out of 87 links. Here you can see also how the side skirts will be assembled with PE parts for the supports, and you also install the boxes before joining this side skirts with the main hull, which is rather strange. I would rather do it in the opposite direction, first join with the main hull and then install the boxes, but this is again your decision. Next we continue with the PE parts and also the towing cables. Here you can see more of the boxes going into the place in some Pioneer tools. Also the fuel drums. Here we have the machine gun, and also we have the log, which is assembled out of 2 hulls, as you remember. Next we install some of the turret parts, and what is interesting is that there are some internal elements going inside. I wonder why. Maybe because we have the separate hatches, so that at least something will be visible with open hatches, but manufacturer does not show the option with the open hatches, as you can see here. And the whole kit looks like a good offering for the T-54 for its price. I know that there are some more superior kits which cost a bit more as well, so it's your decision which one you would need to assemble, because here it's more for the out-of-the-box build without any accessories. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.